There we go. Alrighty. Good morning, Ryder, and welcome to the...
We're having interference.
Yeah, had a bit of technical difficulties, but we're here.
But wait, there's only two of us.
That's true. That's true. Where's Bouken?
Well, for those who aren't aware, we had a little outing a few days ago, and sadly, he got caught in the midst of a den of rare, vicious, ravenous Peruvian boot weasels. So you can only imagine that he will not be with us until he recovers from such attacks. So you're stuck with us for the time being.
And when he admits that Power Ranger is better than Boukenger.
You know what? I have no dog in that fight. I have no dog in that fight.
Yeah. But I'm Jake. He's Steve. Welcome to the to the Rider Time podcast, and here we are here to discuss Kamen Rider Zeztz, case 28, Rage.
Now, it could still be considered an episode. I know we call them cases, but it's like, oh, come on now. Are we really going with the semantics here?
True. Yeah, it was kind of force of habit, but it was a technically correct force of habit.
All we know is that we are technically on episode 4 of Kamen Rider Zeztz.
And it turns out in this episode I was right. Dawn is Agent 1.
Okay. So we have 0. We now have Dawn, which is 1. Agent 2 was the lady. Agent 3 is
the guy you don't like.
Yeah, Agent 3 is the fusion between L and Light. And then we have 4 and 5, which are no. 4 was Nox. Then came 5 and 6, which is the Meathead and Koreha, which she's still in the hospital.
In Code State.
Give the girl a break. And finally, we have Agent 7, which is our boy Baku. So we have finally all the agents now assembled. Except I ask, who hires these people? Is my question.
That's a good question.
Who literally says, yes, this is code material? Because as so far I've seen, the only competent agent or the only one who has made any progress is Baku. I don't know anything. We don't know anything about the lady. All we know is that she doesn't trust code. And then everyone else, we know that Agent 1 is a psychopath.
No, really?
He was actually on death row when they got him. I'm like, what? And everyone else, and then Nox apparently was a good boy, but then just like Baku realized something was going on and left. But then everyone else are a bunch of bootlickers. Although in this timeline, the bootlicking is not so prevalent anymore, especially with 5 and 6. Because if you remember in the past timeline, they were all about the orders and all about, what code wants from us. But here we're like, oh yeah, the only one who's a bootlicker is 3. As for the other 2, it's like they're not so much because now they're questioning things. Which is good. Because I was like, no, we need to give these guys, these are 2 past Sentai actors. So we need to give them something here besides being just fodder in the background. And I did confirm, yes, Dawn is wearing pajamas.
Yeah, upon closer inspection in this episode when I watched it, and I thought, it is a robe. It's not a trench coat.
I know everyone's like, he's wearing a trench coat. He's wearing a trench. I know a bathrobe when I see one. I know pajamas when I see one. And sure as heck, I was like, maybe it could be a straight jacket since he's so psychotic. But no, he is definitely wearing a bathrobe and PJ.
Okay, I've never seen a straight jacket that wasn't white or a grayish tan.
Well, sometimes they take creative liberties. Sometimes I don't know. There have been many a time that they've had straight jackets. I'm like, wait, why is it striped color? Why is it striped? Why is it purple? Why is it? I don't know. They just did it for the sake of the show.
Yeah. So it picks up where the episode last left off. We've got the Nightmare and Dawn, and then all these random dream people. Not the ones that gave Freddy Krueger his powers, by the way. And they just start shooting at them, and then he becomes Zeztz becomes his default form, kicks ass a bit, and then Dawn comes over and is literally like slashing and hacking him sadistically, and then he wakes up from it. And I'm surprised he doesn't have any cuts on his body.
I really don't get why Baku went to base form at that point. Like, you're already in the Volcom, and you're already at the Volcom, leveled up, and yet you go back to default mode. But I guess it's because you figured out, or maybe it's just because, like the last episode, that Dawn literally knew how to deflect the electric powers. Maybe that's the reason why he did it. Although it didn't really seem so. I'm like, wait, why did you go back to default? And why is it that we're fighting the cast of Mad Max and what looks like the set of Tom Sawyer's Hidden Island in Disneyland? And of course,
I honestly figured that he went to Physicam, his default form, because remember, he got a copy of the Physicam Impact capsule and then combined it with the other one he had and made it stronger.
Yeah, that is true. We also have Nox and Nem here. And Nem is getting chased around by Dawn, who is played by, God damn it, where is it? It's Tachibana from Kamen Rider Blade, and who has done several other characters in Kamen Rider. He's been on Forze, he's been on obviously he was in Blade. He's done a few other things here and there.
He was also Grody in King Oger.
Yes, he also was. Let's see here. Let's see. It's crazy because throughout this whole thing, obviously Nem is being chased by our former Tachibana, which is kind of nuts because in Blade, and we just got off from doing Blade, he sounded more older, more like distinguished. As for here, he's playing a complete psychopath. Sounds and looks younger, but we know it's Tachibana. We know it's him.
Shows his acting range.
While he's chasing them, he's telling her I know who you are. I know who your mother is. You are the one that was born of nightmares and this and this and that and blah blah blah. And then Nox comes in and tries to run interference, which does help, but at the same time, it kind of gives a bit of a moment between the two, as Nem is like, look, I don't know what is going on, but if Seven trusts you, then I can trust you. He's told me who you are, and he kind of just shuts her up. But it's like he knows that he can only trust her and Seven. But here's the thing about this scene that really got to me, and I don't know if many people have noticed this. When Nox has the recovery capsule, he still has it. Apparently, Baku gave it to him to recover his weapon. So
yeah, it happened last episode.
Yeah, last episode. We didn't know if he took it, but it was presented.
Baku handed it to him.
We didn't see him use it, though. Now we actually confirmed that he did use it. He actually has revived his blade. Okay, good. But before that happened, Nem talks to Nox, and I don't know if anyone noticed this, but Nem's eyes have changed. Her eyes have gone the same color that Baku's does when he goes into the dream world. And that's never happened before. We've never seen her do that. I was just like, just watching whatever. And there's just like of her right there. And it's like her eyes are like a greenish, yellowish color. I'm like, whoa. What do you mean? Her eyes changed. Her eyes have always been brown or black. What does that mean? Her eyes changed color.
I mean, maybe it has something to do with the fact that in Baku's premonition, she was used to make nightmares. Might have something to do with that.
Maybe, but I was just like, that's actually one thing that I'm like, again, you could have done it. We would never have noticed, but I was just like, for some reason, I noticed her eyes change. Now, what does that mean? We don't know yet, because all we know is that, we have I guess it's a combination of the gun and the wolf nightmare.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's chasing after Nem, and point blank shoots at Nox, but then he disappears and then she disappears. Like, what's going on? No, yeah, Baku saves them. Baku pulls them into his
little dream lair.
Yeah, his little safe space that that he has, and that he had a heartwarming moment with his sister earlier, of like eating breakfast, and just her telling him, "Don't leave me. I hate to eat alone."
That food did look good, not gonna lie.
No. I know, a Japanese breakfast. Believe you me, I have it like at least maybe twice a week nowadays. In Japan, I'm like, well, let's do as the Romans do, because sure as hell there ain't no fruity pebbles here in Nihon. But regardless, we have that whole thing with Nox and Nem and Baku. I'm like, so wait, should I call you Seven or should I call you Baku? Who are you? Because the last few episodes, you're like, oh, I'm Agent 7. Now you're saying you're not. Then who the fuck are you, man? Give us a clear answer. He just says he's a rogue agent now. And I'm like, okay. All right. I guess labels labels were important 2 episodes ago, and now they're not, because you're still Baku to us. You're just some rogue agent now. Okay, agent, let's do it then. So what is it that we got to do? Well, first, I got to exposition dump on Nox a little bit more. I have to tell him what exactly happened. Well, pretty much what happened, or what I know. And Nox is like, what? Like, yeah. But I need your help, because you know who Dawn is. You know who he is. Look, I know you don't trust me, you don't trust her, and you don't trust the Code. Well, I'm not part of Code anymore. So who else can you trust? If you know something, Nox, you gotta tell us. And now it's time for a flashback.
And it takes place in 2004, same year as Blade.
I saw what you did there, Toye. I saw what you did there. I was like, I swear to God, I'm like, wait, we're going to a flashback? How far back? And I had to look it up. I'm like, when did Kamen Rider Blade first air? January 25th, 2004. I was like, okay. I see what you did there.
Tachibana-san.
Yeah. So we have this whole thing with Zero, the lady, and Tachibana-san. And we've come to find out that Dawn is a convict. He is a mass murderer. Again, who picks these people? I
don't know. I mean, we saw before that Baku and Kureha were being indoctrinated as children, so
I mean, no joke. I'm like, you know what? But this is not the first time in media that they've ever done this. There have been multiple stories where it's like, wait, and we're contracting a known criminal, a mass murderer, to help in police or special agent investigations. Mm-hmm. A very prominent one is Silence of the Lamb. You really think that they had any other choice than Hannibal Lecter? Hell,
So basically, Dawn is a combination of Tachibana from Blade and Asakura from no, not Oja. Oja's the writer from Ryuki.
Yeah, so pretty, yeah, and they both share blonde, crazy hair,
and they're purplish riders.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm like, all right. I guess if you're blonde, you're crazy in most shows, because yeah, typically, you know, white, crazy hair, whatever. I'm like, all right.
So wait, if I were the Kamen Rider, I'd be crazy.
I have no idea. You'd have to go through some trauma, because okay, so Kamen Rider Dawn is portrayed by Kosuke Ano. Mr. Ano has done a lot, obviously. He, you know, as we said, he was Tachibana in Blade. He was the Libra Zodiarts in Forze. You know, he has done a lot, and that's only talking Toei side. He's done a lot of work, both in media, of film and stage, and yes, even boy love dramas. Apparently, Mr. Ano has been very prevalent in those. So for people to keep knocking on Baku and on Nox, it ain't just the new kids, okay? And as always, I have said it many a time before, when in my time in Japan, I would go to the Kamen Rider diner just to hang out, or, you know, and enjoy a drink or some food. I would notice various women of various ages, both young and old. And I never questioned it myself. I was like, I didn't know that Kamen Rider was so popular among women. But then I'm like, oh, well, young, hot guys, I guess. Not realizing the deeper meaning until I learned about it. And this was around the time of Kamen Rider X8. I actually like spoke to a few of the girls, because I was like, so what's the whole deal? And they were holding certain magazines that I was like, kind of like, and I was like, huh. And then they explained it. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, is that weird? They would ask me, and I'm like, no. In America, we kind of have the same thing. You know, we've had certain actors portray villains or, you know, action stars, and next thing you know, they're in some romantic drama or some period piece, which is like, wait a minute, didn't they just blow up the World Trade Center? Now they're over here trying to romance, you know, Mary Phyllis of Scots. Well, oh, they're actors. That's what they do. That's just what they do. And if Toei, the Kamen Rider company, is like, yeah, totally, absolutely, and they bring in more fans, more, you know, to see their work and whatnot, then cheers to them, because they know how to market. So yes, Mr. Ano has been in a couple of boy love dramas as well. It pays pretty good, I'm told. But we're not here to talk about boy love drama. That's for another time. So we get the whole thing about 0, 2, and now Agent 1, who his name is Zieg. He is a former convict, or is a convict still, mass murderer and psychopath, that even the lady questions the credentials of putting him on this team, or even him being a part of it, because their whole thing is saving people, which we use the air quotes very loosely here. especially with what has happened in these past 20 some odd episodes. Like, what is code exactly? And especially the part where they keep talking about Somnia. Like, what is Somnia, and why did 3 say that we're gonna have to like relinquish and give up our humanity in order for it to be achieved? What does that mean?
You know, when I heard that, I thought to myself, wait, is this going to be another, or spoilers for Blade, uh, is this going to be another Blade ending to where Baku gives up his humanity and becomes a nightmare, much like how
Much
what
like
happens at the end of
it did
Blade?
with oh my god, why did I forget his name?
Kenzaki.
No, not Ken. Hajime. No. I wouldn't assume that. I would not assume that because that we have only learned that the nightmares come from people's dreams. We're not sure if people actually create or are those things. You know, we're not sure about that. As for Baku being like, you know, a martyr, a sacrifice towards them, I'm like, no. But we do know that we are actually, and it's not here that it's confirmed. We actually were confirmed with it, like I think what 3-4 episodes ago, with Baku and his nightmare, because as the story progresses in our flashback, you know, obviously the lady doesn't trust Sieg, and Sieg is just there to like, oh yeah, sure, fine, yeah, I'll totally be, you know, the greatest agent that there ever will be. Which, again, when you let a loose cannon run around, shit's gonna happen, and it did. But they did not expect this to happen, which Sieg pretty much fought a nightmare, but then fused with it. That has not been seen by Code. Like, normally they defeat the nightmares. How is it possible that a nightmare and a human could possibly become one? That's unheard of. And I'm like, but wait, we saw Baku do it, but I don't think Code knows about that yet. I don't think they do. Because if
No,
they
they never seem
did,
to.
because again, the last couple of episodes, Zero just said to 3 that, yeah, Agent 7 has capsules that we've never seen before. How did he get those? What are those things? So they don't know that Baku has done what Sieg has done. Except it's kind of like on that whole level of like, yeah, Baku is that. We don't have a name for it yet, but you're newly to this ability, where Sieg has been this way for God knows how long. So the experience here is a lot more. The gap of experience is very wide. Like, Baku, you have power. We don't deny that. But Sieg, he doesn't need to get all hulked up or anything to kick your ass. He's just base form right now. He's basically Frieza level 1. That's pretty much what he is. We don't know if there's a secondary or a third form or even a fourth final form to him. But right now, it's just like, yeah, Sieg has just been playing with you because he actually did, quote unquote, kill Baku in this episode, because Baku gets knocked out of the dream. So what exactly is Sieg trying to do is the question of this show. And like the whole thing now, both Nem and Nox are now teamed up with now. Okay, I'm sorry. No, Baku does have a name here. His name is Zeztz. He's actually going by the Kamen Rider title now. Have we ever had that in a Rider ever? I don't think so.
Let's see.
I don't think so.
Well,
I mean, the Showa writers only when they were transformed, but none of them ever said "call me by the name" in their civilian form.
that's true.
In terms
Like
of
Gorgon kept calling Kotaro Black Sun.
Yeah,
But he didn't. But he never acknowledged the name.
Yeah, he never acknowledged it.
He never adopted it.
In terms of Heisei and Neo Heisei, no. As far as I know, no. No one has ever used their actual title as their name.
What about Hibiki?
But I mean, he had his actual name. He actually had, like, oh yeah, no. I've not seen Hibiki, so I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think Hibiki was the title. It wasn't like did the actual physical.
Everybody calls him Hibiki.
Did they all call him? But did he acknowledge himself as Hibiki?
I've only seen it once, and it was like 16 years ago. But if
I recall
correctly, yeah.
It might be a maybe. So we'll say that Hibiki, that Baku is there with Hibiki with using their own titles as writers as their own names now. So it's only maybe happened twice. So we'll see from there. We'll figure it out. Also, shouts out to Nem. I didn't know that you were a fan of Harley Quinn. A lot of people online have been noticing her red and blue little varsity sweater that she's wearing. And then, of course, I'm like, why is she also wearing a studded collar around her neck? I don't know. It's just what she wanted to wear. I'm not saying it's Harley Quinn, but I'm like, well, I mean, it's there. Jesus Christ, man. You think that you can't just wear blue and red and not be associated with a killer clown.
Well, if you don't wear blue and red, and if you're trying to be a hero, then, I guess try to be like Hikaider or Metalder.
Still falls under the same color pattern, though. That's why I'm like, yeah, you all know it as Harley Quinn, but I'm like, we know it as Hikaider, Hikaider 2, Metalder. There were several other heroes that have done that as well.
Double Heat Trigger.
Mm-hmm. Even American superheroes. We had Superman Red and Blue, remember? No one said that was Harley Quinn.
Spider-Man
also did that. There was also various Spider-Man with red and blues. But yeah. What else happened in this episode? Well, Baku broke the moon again.
Yeah, he Rider kicked it, and then did the 777s, and then it got destroyed, so he outdid what the Space Colony arc did in Sonic Adventure 2.
So pretty much
only for Dawn to bring it back.
Yeah, Baku has destroyed. Well, I'm like, someone like, oh, Baku's a planet destroyer. Technically, the moon is not a planet. I mean, yeah, he can destroy a moon, but let's not get too hasty. As to, Sieg for some reason just brings the moon back, and I'm like, wait, why? Why exactly? Although he did capture Nox. He did capture Nox, and now he's put him in his fight club. He's now in a cage dangling over Fight Club.
Yeah, it's like in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, when you go into Oblivion and you see one of those hanging cages in there.
Mm-hmm. The kind of Iron Maiden looking cages, which, and Nox is like, well, I don't like this, but he's gonna take it. He is gonna take it. He's like, you know what, whatever. we do get a scene towards the end of a butterfly flying back to the lady and becoming a bright yellow capsule.
Mhm.
Which again, wait, the butterfly became a capsule?
I guess
What does that mean? What's the
it, mean,
capsule?
it
We
means
don't know.
Mothra can become capsules.
Yeah, apparently Japan has found a new way to sell gachapons. But the lady only says one thing and one thing only. Enjoy your time, Sieg. Because we then cue a montage of flash forwards and flashbacks of next week's episode. So, what will become of Nox? Will he survive Fight Club? Will Nem get her real eye color back? And what's the deal with Black Bunny slippers? We don't know. But we're going to find out next week, apparently. Anyway, that is all for Kamen Rider Zeztz episode 28. Rage. Not a lot of rage here.
Yeah, it's a little misleading.
I was expecting like a full fall at just complete anger and whatnot, especially more towards Zeke. But okay, rather interesting. Yeah, technically we are like on episode 4 of Kamen Rider Zeztz. So again, it's building up the momentum of the show. Nox is not fully on our side, but I think he's like finally realizing, yeah, I think it's better to join up with this kid than to be by myself. As for the lady, we don't know where she falls in all of this. There seems to be 3 parties. There's Code, there's the rogue riders, the rogue agents, and then there's her. So what exactly is the good side? What is the right side? We don't know. That's what keeps us entertained and keeps us coming back every week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've got to fight the nightmares, but Code so far, they don't really seem like they're very much better.
No, not to mention it's like, wait, we know that the lady created nightmares, okay, but then Sieg has his own nightmares that he's captured and modified. So again, are the nightmares things that are created, or are they things that they just capture on their own or just created on their own? You know, what's the deal? What's going on?
You know, it makes me wonder who the final villain will be in the last episode when we get to that point.
It would just be like, again, mostly a Toye trope would be like, it's not Code, it's not the lady. There's a mysterious third entity that apparently shows up out of nowhere.
King of the Nightmares.
Yeah, they've been doing that. They did that with number 1, didn't they? Like apparently the villain just showed up out of nowhere. Like, wait, what's this about? Who's this guy? I'm hoping that's not the case, though. I hope not. But yeah, mm, mm. It's an introduction, obviously, to Sieg. It's a setup to what may come. Next week's episode must give us more information. So as of right now, I'll give this episode a 7. Because yes, there was some action, there was some some info that was dropped on us, but really nothing major. Like we already knew Sieg was crazy. we already knew Sieg was off his nut. We had no idea. Like that whole thing with the dragon, was that something that Code gave him, or was that no? That's something he picked up. So, all right. But other than that, nothing really major happened. It all seems like next week we're going to get more added to what this episode gave us.
Yeah.
So far it's a 7 for right now.
Honestly, for me, I give it a 9. I've just been enjoying Zeztz in general. It's like, I like the mystery of things. Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about basically the first half of the show just being a premonition. I don't know how to feel about that, but other than that, I always look forward to watching the newest episode and tuning in and seeing what happens and whatnot. Yeah, there might not have been very much to really go over in this episode, but it was still enjoyable to me.
Well, that's the thing with this show mainly, is that right now we're just getting it piece by piece. Once it's all done and over, it's like, okay, now it'll all make sense. Now you see it in the bigger picture, and it's like, oh, okay, all right. It's like with so many other things. It's like you think that you would have gotten a good story out of Star Wars, the original trilogy, if you had just watched one movie. You had to watch all 3 to get the whole story. Same thing goes with the Lord of the Rings, goes with any of the Ultraman series. Like, apparently with Ultra 7, now we have Zero, which continues on that storyline. I'm like, what? So now a common entertaining show from the 70s has become more and more in-depth.
Well, Zero is the son of 7, so
yeah. So it's like, what there's more? Yeah, of course there's more. So right now, Zeztz is like, it's all over the place. Zeztz is all over the place because we don't know what is happening, especially since we had 24 episodes of what we believed was the story when it turns out it was not. So again, this could be great writing. This could be horrible writing. We don't know, but so far it's gotten our attention. That's the point with Zeztz right now.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right.
Well, shall we see what the comments have to say?
What do the people have to say this late at night?
All right, hang on. Come on. Oh. Wait. There we go, I think. No Kabuto. Yeah, I know. I miss Hiromi Tsushima as well. Oh, wait, you're talking about Bouken Kabuto.
Do it. I told him not to do it, but he just had to go in there.
Hope he has fun on his trip. How are you guys doing? Oh, I hope he's having fun too. Lucky. I'm doing good myself.
It's like what right now? Like 3, 2 in the afternoon right now. So he should be out and about doing something. As for the rest of us, well, we're just trying to survive this little crazy weather we've been having over here on this side of the world. I don't know. We'll hold out. We'll hold out. Anything else?
Yeah, a few more. On the topic of spies, do you guys have a favorite James Bond movie? I'm going to make a little confession here. I have not seen any of the James Bond movies. Sorry to disappoint. I have, however, seen every single Godzilla movie, and I own all of them.
Mm-hmm. No, I will admit that I have not seen most James Bond movies. I've seen a couple, but it varies. Obviously, I've seen one Sean Connery, one Daniel Craig one. I've seen oh my god, what's his face? Big in the 90s. Why am I forgetting him? Pierce Brosnan. Yeah. And I will say they were kind of okay. Not really my thing. It's kind of like even when people talk about Mission Impossible and all that, did not get my attention, and still to this day have no drive to see any spy movies except for Austin Powers, apparently.
Ron, it's Godzilla. It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not.
Yeah, especially when it comes down to, I'm like, I don't know. With action movies, it depends. Like, spy movies always take themselves so seriously, you know, as opposed to, like, you know, the movies that are iconic of the 80s and the mid 90s, you know, such as like as Predator or Aliens or the Terminator, you know, those kind of films that were like, oh yeah, but 007 never really caught my attention. Even though I believe they were very well acted by great actors. But if I were to say, like, the one out of those movies that I actually enjoyed was probably Daniel Craig. Just because it felt more like, yeah, this is more like an agent that has been through a lot. Like a hell of a lot. So it was more of that gritty, gruff type of thing.
Yeah.
Although I will say, though, mixing in the secret agents in Godzilla versus Biollante, that was actually a very random move that they decided to do.
It's definitely an interesting installment.
Yeah.
Now that all 7 code agents are revealed, I wonder if they will replace the traitors / dead ones, like in James Bond, or if we will get new agents like Code 8 or something. Your guess is as good as mine.
You know what? That's a question that, you know, yeah, what, it's only these 7? Really? Only these 7. Were there no other agents before this? I mean, Code, as far as we know, back in 2004. It's probably been around a lot longer. So 2004 going against 2026. There's a good 22 years. So where has everyone else been? Is my theory actually correct when we talked about when Baku was in the dream world of the capsules and he saw all of those floating bodies in the red? Could that have been previous agents that have fallen and that he's using? Because they do say the capsules are used by nightmares that they have captured. Well, how easy is it to capture a nightmare?
Yeah. Well, maybe they've got different numbered agents for different departments, because they also said that Code deals with other supernatural threats like aliens and so on, even though we haven't seen any of that. But I don't know. Oh gosh. And what if an alien had a nightmare and Baku went into it? That'd be strange.
Yeah.
Well, I got one more comment. Maybe nightmares are generated from human subconscious, but then go rampant. You know, I honestly thought the exact same thing. Like, they're like a manifestation of humanity's nightmares, and that's how they're born or something.
I mean, it is possible, obviously, because, I mean, what are dreams and nightmares than byproducts than what humans make? You know, when you have a good dream, all right, great, but what happens when you have a bad dream? Where does all those negative thoughts and feelings go? I mean, it's kind of crazy that does, like, you know, if the nightmares are a byproduct of accumulation of all the negative or horrible dreams that people have. It's not crazy to think that.
Yeah.
We need to dive into that a little bit more. We haven't even we seriously, we've never even, all we know is that nightmares exist. We don't know where they come from. We know that the lady can create some, but where did you learn how to make these things?
Where did you learn to fly?
Who or what makes a nightmare come to life? Especially since, like, you know, like we saw in the last, or in like a couple episodes back, that when those kids disappeared, you know, the nightmare actually became more powerful.
Yeah. But since it was just in a premonition, those kids are still fine. So I guess they never disintegrated.
I guess not. Because we went backwards. So we're not forward. We went back. So those kids are still fine. So, but again, what are the nightmares? What exactly are they? We need to touch more on this, people. We really do.
Well, we're 28 episodes in out of presumably 48, 49, 50, give or take. So maybe we'll get an answer later down the road.
Hopefully. But that's it.
Alrighty. Well, I hope everybody had a great time tonight. Also, check out our other podcasts. We got the Buttery Show. We got, the Morphin Network here. And there we go. Some upcoming conventions that some of us will be at. We'll be at Robo Toy Fest in Burbank Marriott Convention Center on the 31st of May. And, of course, the big one, Power Morphicon, August 20th through the 30th, 2026 at the Pasadena Convention Center.
I'm getting ready for that one. Robo Toy Fest, hopefully I can make an appearance. But hopefully you get to see all of us and we get to see all of you. So please do not feel or think we do not love our fans. Please come up to us, bother us. Ask for photos, ask for signatures. We'll give it to you. It's no big deal. We're people.
I mean, Morphicon 2012 is how I met Bouken Kabuto. So,
So please, come. All are welcome. Come to our community. You can sit at our table. It's all cool.
Of course, talk about all things Toku.
Yep. But that is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you enjoyed yourselves, and hopefully you enjoyed us talking about some random bug superheroes. As always, take care of yourselves, have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one.
Alrighty. Good night, everybody.